A person directly involved in the discussions said that the removal of the Russian was driven, in part, by concerns that President Donald Trump and his administration repeatedly mishandled classified intelligence and could contribute to exposing the covert source as a spy. The decision to carry out the extraction occurred soon after a May 2017 meeting in the Oval Office in which Trump discussed highly classified intelligence with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and then Russian Ambassador to the U.S. Sergei Kislyak. The intelligence concerning ISIS in Syria had been provided by Israel. The disclosure to the Russians by the president, though not about the Russian spies specifically, prompted intelligence officials to renew earlier discussions about the potential risk of exposure, according to the source directly involved in the matter. At the time, then CIA Director Mike Pompeo told other senior Trump administration officials that too much information was coming out regarding the covert source, known as an asset. An extraction, or exfiltration, as such an operation is referred to by intelligence officials, is an extraordinary remedy when U.S. intelligence believes an asset is in immediate danger. The source was considered the highest-level source for the U.S. inside the Kremlin, high up in the national security infrastructure, according to the source familiar with the matter and a former senior intelligence official. According to CNN sources, the spy had access to Putin and could even provide images of documents on the Russian leader's desk. The covert source provided information for more than a decade, according to the sources, and an initial effort to extract the spy, after exposure concerns, was rebuffed by the informant. CNN is reporting the additional information about the covert source who was extracted from Russia in 2017. The information, which adds further understanding to the value of the informant, was initially withheld by CNN but was subsequently reported by the New York Times Monday evening. A U.S. official said before the secret operation there was media speculation about the existence of such a covert source, and such coverage or public speculation poses risks to the safety of anyone or foreign government suspects may be involved. This official did not identify any public reporting to that effect at the time of this decision, and CNN could not find any related reference in media reports. Asked for comment, Brittany Bramall, the CIA Director of Public Affairs, told CNN's narrative that the Central Intelligence Agency makes life-or-death decisions based on anything other than objective analysis and sound collection is simply false. Misguided speculation that the president's handling of our nation's most sensitive intelligence, which he has access to each and every day, drove an alleged exfiltration operation is inaccurate. A spokesperson for Secretary of State Mike Pompeo declined to comment. White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham said, CNN's reporting is not only incorrect, it has the potential to put lives in danger. Wide concerns about Trump in intelligence community. The removal happened at a time of wide concern in the intelligence community about mishandling of intelligence by Trump and his administration. Those concerns were described to CNN by 5 sources who served in the Trump administration, intelligence agencies and Congress. Those concerns continued to grow in the period after Trump's Oval Office meeting with Kislyak and Lavrov. Weeks after the decision to extract the spy, in July 2017, Trump met privately with Russian President Vladimir Putin at the G20 summit in Hamburg and took the unusual step of confiscating the interpreter's notes. Afterward, intelligence officials again expressed concern that the president may have improperly discussed classified intelligence with Russia, according to an intelligence source with knowledge of the intelligence community's response to the Trump-Putin meeting. Knowledge of the Russian covert source's existence was highly restricted within the U.S. government and intelligence agencies. According to one source, there was no equal alternative inside the Russian government, providing both insight and information on Putin. The secret removal of the high-level Russian asset has left the US without one of its key sources on the inner workings of the Kremlin and the plans and thinking of the Russian president at a time when tensions between the two nations have been growing. The U.S. intelligence community considers Russia one of the two greatest threats to U.S. national security, along with China. The impact would be huge because it is so hard to develop sources like that in any denied area, particularly Russia, because the surveillance and security there is so stringent, a former senior intelligence official told CNN. You can't reacquire a capability like that overnight. Months of mounting fear. The decision to pull the asset out of Russia was the culmination of months of mounting fear within the intelligence community. At the end of the Obama administration, U.S. intelligence officials had already expressed concerns about the safety of the spy and other Russian assets, given the length of the cooperation with the U.S., according to the former senior intelligence official. Those concerns grew in early 2017 after the U.S. intelligence community released its public report on Russian meddling in the 2016 election, which said Putin himself ordered the operation. The intelligence community also shared a classified version of the report with the incoming Trump administration, and it included highly protected details on the sources behind the intelligence. Senior U.S. intelligence officials considered extracting at least one Russian asset at the time but did not do so, according to the former senior intelligence official. In the first months of his administration, Trump's handling of classified intelligence further concerned intelligence officials. Ultimately, they decided to launch the difficult operation to remove an asset who had been working for the U.S. for years. The president was informed in advance of the extraction, along with a small number of senior officials. Details of the extraction itself remain secret and the whereabouts of the asset today are unknown to CNN. Update: this story has been updated to include additional details about the covert source. CNN's Marshall Cohen contributed to this report. Let's block ads. Why?